everybody, it's Christine with Cocoa Daisy, and I'm going to share with you some fun fall, kind of gratitude-inspired forest floor stamping and some fun layering using those kinds of stamps. These would be great for any sort of fall activities. Again, especially if you're doing it a gratitude or a thankful type journal. It's very, very nice to have that. And I love the mushrooms on these stamp sets have such great, great detail. So we have the 4x6 stamp set. This is from the Moss Mirth Collection. It is the November collection from Cocoa Daisy. This is the 4x6 stamp set. This is the subscription one. And then this is the 3x4 stamp set. This is part of the scrapbooking kit. And then we have the adorable little single stamp, this field notes kind of journaling stamp that is from the deluxe journaling kit. And then we have this very fun wooden daisy from our stationery kit. And that has that great little daisy. And if you recognize it, it's actually the daisy that is very similar, if not the same one, from some of our logos. So just kind of fun. I thought it would be interesting to throw that in there. We had the little teacup back in September, and I really, really liked that. So we did another one. So I wanted to just, I'll get into a bunch of ideas. I wanted to actually just kind of do one here and show you, and then I will also tell you about the colors that I have. So I just want to show you how beautiful the detail is on these mushrooms and how fun they are to layer. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I absolutely love the quality of our stamps, especially they shine when we have detail like that. I love that. And then I'm going to do the give thanks in this nice dark brown. And these ink pads are raised in the middle. So just as a side note, if you just tap them a little bit, you're not going to get the ink on your stamp all the way. You kind of have to rock it, move it around, tap it, because it's a bit of a raised ink pad. So you're going to want to do that. I'm just going to kind of put that one just like that. And then I think it would be fun to add the circle in there, kind of like that. I love that accent of that little bit of yellow in there. And then let me show you the colors. So the colors we're using, and I have a couple more of these. Some of them are labeled Shakiro, and I know I'm saying this wrong, and I apologize ahead of time. Shakihara, maybe? Anyway, the colors, and I've gone and looked them up, so I have them for you. So this is the dark yellow green. This is the brown. I am using the pale brown, and then the ochre green. I think those are very, very pretty, as well as from the stamp market, I'm using the Dijon, the curry, and the leafy. I have a VersaFine in the Spanish moss. That's really pretty. And then, of course, my VersaFine in the onyx black. So let's go through and have some fun with these. So the first one is going to be the stamp set, the 4x6 subscription stamp set. And again, you have that beautiful mushroom. You have actually two groupings, and then you have this tiny little guy, which is really fun. And you can group them all together. You can do a little bit at a time. You have the November, the give thanks, and the thankful. And those are just kind of nice, larger anchor ones that you can use with the mushrooms. As you see, I've done here, so I have November, thankful, and give thanks. And then I added a little bit more onto them. Obviously, you can do both sets of the mushrooms. You can do just one. And then I love using those circle stamps as another layer. This is like the one we just did. And then here I've put it over top of the thankful. This one I grouped it with a season to be grateful. Again, another great little layering stamp. And I put them together with the little mushroom in the circle. If you used a circle punch, this would make a great little die cut. And then I took and did these and did them without the larger ones, just adding some of the smaller stuff. So you have the autumn favorites, you have the circle stamp there, and then the on the menu. I thought that was cute. I did the autumn favorites with the on the menu as well as the two little guys there, the two little mushrooms. And then I just grouped thankful and November together and then did the two little mushrooms. You could do the same thing again where you grouped give thanks with November. That's one I didn't do. But like I tell you all the time, please take the time when you get these, or maybe I did, when you get these stamp sets, take the time to play. Just like I said, grab a bunch of ink colors and just start playing, and you'll have a lot of fun. And I think it just helps that creative muscle, right? So if you do give thanks with a season to be grateful, and then the other circle stamp on that one, that's a really cute journal header as well. If you didn't want to use the mushrooms, if you wanted to just use some of the words. And then I have this one. So I stacked a couple of them here. I said I did a season to be grateful, November, and thankful. Let me make sure I'm getting that in the screen. And then I did the thankful with a season to be grateful up the side. And then I did both of the mushrooms and then put the little guy in there. I thought that was cute. Did kind of another riff on this one. So on this one, you have that mushroom with the give thanks next to it and the circle over it right there. But on here, I moved the circle and I did it around here and did the give thanks down below. And then this one, I did the November with a season to be grateful and did the circle in the middle. And then stacked them here with a circle just kind of off to the side. You could punch a piece of pattern paper and put it in the middle of that. You could even do a tiny little photograph, would be cool. You could stamp the mushroom on just a piece of scrap paper, do a circle punch of that, and then use it as a die cut in the middle of there and layer it. That would be really, really neat. Same idea here. And then I combined our cute little daisy, stamped that a couple times. I did the circle around it and then a season to be grateful. The daisy, of course, you could color this in. You could use it in a bullet journal to stamp for, each thing that you wanted to journal about. You could use that just kind of like the bullet for the bullet journal. So some fun ideas for this stamp set here. I love those. And I love these colors together too. They're very soothing. Then the other one, the field notes, I wanted to show you how fun this would be if you stamped this on a nice piece of cardstock and then cut it out. So I did a little hole punch and I cut around it. And so you could crinkle this a little, you could tear it a little bit, but how cute would that be on a layout if you had a bunch of these and then you did a little bit of journaling on each one? Or you could even create a little mini set of like file notes, like if you had a little jump ring or something, you could attach them all. You could put a photograph on the back or something. It'd be really, really cute to have a tiny, tiny little mini album with those. I think those are really, really fun. You could always punch this. If you have a spiral notebook and you have a spiral punch, you could punch this and then insert it into the notebook as well. So I think there's a lot of fun ways that you could use these. Aside from just stamping it straight on the page, you could cut it out and use it as a fun die cut. I did add a couple of stamps just to show you that you could stamp things in the background and actually turn this into like a piece of ephemera or a die cut and not even have to journal on it if you didn't want to. So I thought that was cute as well. And then the 3x6 set, or 3x4, sorry. is this one here. And it has, again, some of these great, you know, the one that says file, date, subject, and number. These things are so, they're just, what's the word I'm trying to think of? It'll come to me. Probably when I'm done with the video, but it'll come to me. They're a great thing to have in your stash to use because you can use them all the time. And that's the same way I feel kind of about that field notes stamp. But the number, this is just great for journaling, or if you want to add a date or just a small label onto a photograph. And it pairs really well with putting a word inside. The little mushroom that's included in there is really cute, to layering stuff above it if you want to. Remember, you can use that masking technique where if I stamped this with what I saw today, you just lay a scrap piece of paper down, stamp your image, and then it will only be on the top. So that's how you just do masking. This is another one that if you stamped and cut that out, would be a great die cut. I mean, you could use that over and over and over again. And then I love the one that says the details. Great for journaling, or if you've got a layout, or if you're doing like a scrapbooking page. Really nice. Just a simple little header, and then you can write below it. Same thing with this one. This would be a very easy one if you want to just add a date to the corner of a photograph or an entry. You could cut this out or stamp it directly on it. Would be really nice too. Any of these, if you had an open space on a photograph, if you've never stamped on photographs, that is a lot of fun as well. You want to use a StazOn ink, is the brand that I use most of the time, and it works on glossy surfaces. So it won't, you have to be kind of careful, stamp down and pull straight up, but it will allow you to stamp on a photograph without it smearing. And something like this, or this would be really neat stamped right onto a photograph, or even the forged word would be really neat on a woodland photograph or a fall photograph. I like the what I saw today added with the details. That's just the perfect little collage for some journaling on a layout. You can see I added the little mushrooms to a couple of them. It's a beautiful day. I love that one as well. Did the same thing, same idea here. I just kept the fern up above. And again, the detail on this fern is so beautiful. It almost looks like a pressed fern, like a real one. Another fun thing that you could do, and I didn't think of it until just now, otherwise I'd have shown you, if you stamped this on vellum and cut it out, you would have a beautiful die cut or piece of ephemera that you could tuck under a photograph and layer. That would be very, very pretty. And it would just be very soft. I love that idea. And then again, this one, I stamped it in a couple of different colors, kind of layered it together with the forged and the number, the little label there. So that turned out really cute. Then what I did is I took all of the 4x6 stamps. I could have added these too, but I wanted to show you how fun it is to create a background or almost like a journal entry page or a layout just with stamps and just layering them. So I went through and I took all of these, I gathered my colors together, and I just started stamping. I did my larger ones first, kind of spaced those out with a couple of the mushrooms and the toadstools there. And then I went back and just started adding some of those smaller things and then layering a few more things on top. There's a few pops of black in here, which I really like as well. And it turned out so cool. And you may see me start to do this every month because I had so much fun with this. And I thought it was such a great way to show you how to do all of those stamps together. And look at how neat that is. All you'd have to do really is maybe add a picture here and then a little bit of journaling down the side or the other way around, a little journaling on here, add a photograph on here, and you're done. All of that decoration is done, especially if you really prefer to have minimal bulk in something. Stamping is a great way to add a lot of interest, as much color as you want, and really kind of create your own pattern. So I think that was really, really fun. But look at how neat that would be. You put the little field notes up there with a photograph, add a little bit of journaling down the side, and you're done. How cute is that, right? Love it. So make sure you try, stretch those creative muscles, play with things, have fun with things, and make sure you hit like, subscribe, leave me a comment. Let me know if you're playing. Let me know some of the things that you have come up with or learned while you're stamping. I would love to know that. Again, hit like, subscribe, share the love, let everybody know about Cocoa Daisy, and we will see you again next month.